G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here, and the SunFoil 7th prototype 40 watt minimalist unit is finished, at least as far as fabrication goes. Like I said, it's a minimalist SunFoil, although it's kind of elegant in a couple of ways. That flat plate leading edge, it's 21 inches by 1 inch, so 21 square inches of surface area. But as I said on an earlier video, the air piles up in front of it. You get a hemispherical compression wave, so the air actually sees that as a half circle moulding. And whereas if it was a 4 inch by 5 inch rear vision mirror, it would be almost the same frontal area. The rear vision mirror is a flat plate. This is 25-26 inches long, so it's got a 26:1 fineness ratio, which means with a round leading edge, 26:1 fineness ratio. The only real problem then was 21 square inches of flat plate trailing edge, and instead of allowing compressed air to build up in front of the flat plate, I ventilated it with 21 holes. These holes, they serve a couple of purposes. Part one, they allow hot air to vent, right? And 532 hole on the front web and a 1/4 inch hole on the rear web. So they look sort of a little bit like rocket injector nozzles, and this means that the high speed compressed air isn't going to get tangled in the edges of the rear hole. So ideally, instead of towing a low pressure zone behind it, it tows 21 high speed, slightly high pressure plumes. And those plumes coming out there, they're going to suck air over the trailing edge and under the trailing edge, and we're going to form a scalloped aerodynamic pseudo cone. So I don't think this is going to have a very big aerodynamic drag penalty on a Holden Rodeo 4-wheel drive at all, when you think about it. Like all good little Vegemites, I did the hacksawing of the brackets well before I did the drilling, and I did all of the drilling before I did any of the assembling. So we have pop rivets, 532 aluminium, holding the aluminium to the aluminium, and therefore if it gets into a saltwater environment we shouldn't have any corrosion problems. And in this shot you can see how close the 532 holes are to the insulating white plastic and the white silastic that makes up the back of the panel. Possibly I could have taken it a little bit closer, but I don't want to risk busting the solar panel. When it's on the vehicle, this precarious mock-up shows you roughly where the roof rack support bar will be. So yeah, there's going to be a drag obstacle below the level of the SunFoil. I thought briefly about attempting to use the SunFoil to streamline the front roof rack bar, but I came to the conclusion that there was going to be a very narrow little edge there, and it could actually create some sound resonance problems. Better to have the solar panel flying free, so to speak, in the clear air atop the roof rack bars. So, SunFoil 7th prototype, minimalist, finished fabrication. And now I think I've got time to do a dressing on the finger and go into town and maybe even fit it to the car before sundown. Ciao!